2 weeks, we looked over everything. We said, this is interesting. We got 5 sergeants who don't supervise anybody. We pulled them in. Now we need 4 sergeants, and that took us a day to figure out, okay? That's what we're watching every time we go. I'm going to go through this and do it on my time frame, evaluate on my time frame, but the response has been very positive, and I do believe people are getting what we're doing. The only 2 promotions I've made so far were 2 captains. I'm under the impression, and I do believe that we had a need for some captains. I went through a process no one had ever been through before. We had everybody do testing. We had recommendations. I interviewed 4 candidates, and I was told and led to believe by all of my deputies that no, I didn't want to interview one candidate who anybody could question their ability, work ethic, and the way they presented themselves. And I said, I will judge you on these people. I don't know anybody there, I told them. Interviewed 4 people. I am proud to say I would have given all 4 of them a promotion if it was possible. I was very impressed. These are hard workers, diligent, great records. I asked a lot of questions. They gave me the exact answers I needed. They were professionals. Made promotions to 2 people. I have had more than 5 to 10 grievances now. Everybody in the world's mad they didn't get a promotion. Guess what? Interestingly, the union's not grieving it because you know why? They thought they were good choices. But all the disgruntled people now have decided, darn it, this guy's for real, I got no future, I'm going to make his life miserable. And they are making requests for every bit of information, trying to bog up the process. And you know what I say to them? No. We moved on. That's what's going on right now. So that's the stuff I deal with, but I am not discouraged about it. As a matter of fact, I love it. I love it, because why? We're doing the right thing for the right reasons. That's all I talk to my inner circle about every day. Are we doing this for the right reasons? Are we doing the right thing? End of story, right? I'm not going to lose sleep. I don't have time to waste on negativity. We have so many good things we can do with this office. We can make people safer. We can rehabilitate people. We can get people off the streets. We can make a difference in this community. I'm not going to waste my time on negativity. Now, what was the second part of the question?
What specifically can we do to help you?
Well, the reason it's difficult because, you know, I don't know, you guys good negotiators with unions and stuff like that? I mean, but no, what I can do is this. Is just simply like this, and this is helpful. I mean, it really is. Spread the word. When people talk about the Worcester County Sheriff's Department, back me up. If you hear somebody complaining about something, ask them questions before you buy it. And if I'm telling you, everybody does this. For example, boy, I might have lost my job in civil process. Well, why? Well, because I didn't pass the weapons test. Well, why? That's the question, not, oh, that darn sheriff, he cut me loose. Then ask him questions, because I'm giving you my word on it. There's a reason we do everything, and I believe it's the right reason. So just try to talk us up. Don't be afraid. I know it's been done before, to write a letter to the editor if you see something positive we're doing, and say, I'm proud to say, I like what the Worcester County Sheriff's doing. Get the buzz going in the community, because I know this. I know if I do my job the right way for 6 years, I will get reelected. I'm not worried about that. But the help is just keeping the momentum going. Don't let the negativity... People don't want me to succeed. There are people that do not want me to succeed. I'm not going to speculate why. I think a lot of you have probably already figured out 3 reasons why, okay? But there's a lot of people that just don't want me to succeed for any ridiculous reason there is. And the only way we can succeed in this business is to win it in the public domain eventually. I will do the work inside. I will do the hard work in the community. I just need you guys to be my voice in the community at large. To tell people, stop the nonsense. We got somebody who's doing what he said he was going to do, cutting costs, running a more efficient department, and gearing everything towards making us safer. Not that hard. Just hasn't been done, you know, that often. Unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, Lou, first of all, we're real proud of you. Very happy that you got elected sheriff. Just as much as you compliment us, we love you.
Thank you. I like those kind of questions.
Fundraiser where you brought some sheriffs out, you know, and it was very interesting talking to them. I was wondering, one of the topics that came up is the relationship of the sheriff to other police organizations in the county, police chiefs. Are you doing anything with that, or meeting with police chiefs, or to improve the rapport between the sheriff's department and...
Yeah. Now that you mention that event, actually, just as a cue here, thank you, I do have an event coming up, just to mention it, on April 14th. It's my 100th day in office party. So I just want to let you know, I think it's a Worcester County celebration for us. It's Coral Seafood in Worcester on April 14th. If anyone's interested, I'll leave a few of these. But I'm just trying to say, hey, look, we got something to celebrate. It's 100 days. A lot of people in Worcester County, this was an area where actually, you know, if we want to be partisan for a minute, we made some inroads. I think we sent the message maybe a little bit divergent from the rest of the state, but I think we got some good people in office here, and I'm just trying to have a little celebration around a county-wide office holder. Jen Casey's going to be there as well as many of the local officials. So I just want to let you know that. Shelley, you triggered me on that with that question about the that event we had the sheriffs. As far as the police chiefs go, I'm keeping a very open dialogue with the chiefs. I go to the monthly, well, I've been already to their monthly meetings. The police chiefs meet monthly. I'm letting them know that I'm not coming into this job to, let me just back up a little bit. Police departments, as you may know, whether it be state police, local police departments, there's campus police, they're a territorial bunch, okay? And they're worried when the sheriff comes in, he's got a territory too. And all I want them to know is, I am not here as a threat to you. I am trying to be an asset to you and give you backup where you need it. We're not in here to take over the job of the local police departments. But there are things we can do to help. And one of them is, I talked about those regional areas where I'm willing to deputize people who are willing to work in a regional way to make these communities safer. We have a mobile command unit. A lot of the police don't like it because the sheriff got it. Let me tell you how we got this vehicle. It's a $700,000 vehicle. The way it was designated by the government, now, you know, after 9/11, it was the Bush administration, they were Southerners, they had county government reign supreme in the South, especially. They gave grants out to communities. If you would like to have a command unit that would be helpful to the local police departments, we're going to give it to the sheriffs. Well, you know what? I don't care whose turf battle it is. It doesn't have my name on it. It's there, but it's underutilized because some chiefs don't want to use it, or there's some pettiness. So I'm going around and talking to the chiefs saying, let me give you an example of how this can be used. If you have a tragedy in a fire or a school incident, or something where you need to have a response from community police departments, so you know what I'm talking about. This vehicle has the ability to drive onto site. We can turn it over to the local officials to run the scene, but we can lock everyone into the same communication system. So you're not in a situation like 9/11 where departments came and there were 15 different fire departments and police departments and federal government officials and nobody could talk to anybody. We've got the ability to drive this truck on site, turn it over to you and say, this is an asset. I'm trying to let folks know this is what I want to do. We have a reverse 911 system, which means we have the ability in the Sheriff's Department, free. Any town in Central Mass, Worcester County can use it. All you have to do is call our office. If you have anything to do with public safety, and as little as we had a pipe break on a street and the drinking water is unsafe, I can call every resident, not personally, I can contact every resident in that town or that street or whatever and let them know about this incident. We could have an Alzheimer's patient disappear in a neighborhood. Imagine if your loved one stepped out the door and disappeared. We can notify that street, that community, that neighborhood, someone's missing. We found people by doing this. As a matter of fact, somebody got the phone call and saw somebody right outside their window and called the local police and he was found. And it can be used for bigger things. The point is, here's another tool. When we don't have the money, here's an area we can help you at no cost to them. So I'm just trying to offer to the chiefs, work with them as closely as I can, in any ways we can work together to make this community safer. And, you know, we've got things, they've got things, let's share it together. It's not about territory, it's about getting the big picture done, and that's public safety. So that's how I'm working with all the chiefs. And I got a great, and one last thing. We also have, which, are you familiar with what's called like a regional lockup? I don't see a lot of shaking heads here. This is a real big issue, and you can understand it exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of areas, what they do is if someone gets arrested on the weekend, for example, in the Sheriff's Department, we have overcrowded. I don't want to tell you the problems. I'd love to say I spend every waking hour talking about exactly what we're talking about here, because I should be. I spent most of my waking hours last week trying to figure out how to get $75,000 to fix a roof that's leaking with 16 buckets in each room of my nursing unit, which, by the way, the building should have been torn down 10 years ago, but it's a modular building because we were overcrowded, and the building's outlived its usefulness, but nobody's coming in with a new building, so I got to figure out ways to manage what we've got. But that's not what we're here to talk about. But we are here talking about things like regional lockup. What we'd like to do is, for example, how about this? You live in a town. Cities don't have this problem as much as towns do. You arrest someone for drunk driving on a Friday night, and they have to stay in your jail cell until they go to court and get arraigned on Monday morning because they can't bail themselves out. It will cost that local department $2,000 to $3,000 a weekend, because now with all civil rights and lawyers and all stuff, you got to go through a process. You got to bring an officer. They have to watch them. They have to check them every 15 minutes, and this costs an enormous amount of money. Multiply that by every town doing this once, twice, 3 times a year, and you start adding up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. What we want to do is be able to take them, have them call the Worcester County Sheriff, and say, we bring them down to us, we'll keep them for the weekend, saving the town's enormous amount of money. There are some problems with that. I'm trying to work on it, but some of it is, some of these folks are, you know, they're difficult to bring in. They may have psychological issues. They may have injuries. There's a lot of issues. But what we can do, what I'm working on now in North County, since we're in North County, we had a meeting with 5 of the local police chiefs who were there representing the rest. We want to try to set up a regional local lockup. We're thinking now, don't hold me to this, but I know the town of Gardner is thinking about expanding their police station or building a new one. We're talking about maybe adding some cells on there where maybe the sheriff's department could use our resources, and on the weekends, bring correctional officers out to the facility where we could maintain the jail for the weekend. At no cost to the towns, you have the facility, we'll offer the support, win-win for everybody. So that's another example of what I'm trying to do with the local departments, to work with them. It's all about save money, get on the same page, and do the right thing. And that's another thing. So another area to talk about. Yep.